Hello, welcome to another video. But today I'm talking about ignorance. The greatest, I think, problem of probably humanity. Ignorance is, when we are ignorant to things and, usually make mistakes because of ignorance. I know I have. I'm sure many others have. And if you've made no mistakes, then you're just lying to yourself. But yeah, ignorance is one of the greatest, flaws of humanity. Not knowing things, because how are we supposed to know everything? We have to learn things. So it's very important that education is important and information is conveyed well. Unfortunately, with the age of the internet, there's so much conflicting information that sometimes it's hard to sift out the truth. That's why you gotta keep an open mind and consider both sides. Otherwise, you might never find the truth. But yeah, ignorance, can lead us to mistakes, and I'm definitely going to be covering mistakes as a episode yet again. Talk about, my mistakes, with Elsie, Ex-Gene, and Joker. I'll mention it, a million times, and, I'll always mention it. As, that's where I, have regrets. So, yeah. But, I'll talk about more of that, next time. I mentioned it before, and be a bit weird to mention it twice. Or, yeah, again, in summary, really regret Gene the most out of the three. For Elsie and Joker was, 50-50, left, Joker, because most likely they were teenagers, so they really didn't know anything, young teenager. And for, Elsie, their life could have gone good or bad, coin flip. But, I always focus on the goddamn negative instead of positive with my own mind, so yeah. The one I truly regret is not being a rock of stability for Ex-Gene, yeah. Anyway, more about, Lars when I get to it. But yeah, because of ignorance, made mistakes like the Ex-Gene and sort of the Elsie one. Not really for the Joker one. That one was not ignorance. That was, decision. And I think, hopefully, the right one. But still, yeah, again, I always think about the negative. But anyway, ignorance is a plague, and it's very key that education, is done right. And since, people can learn in different ways, you gotta also try and account for that. And, account for what's really important to teach. And make certain that there's no misinformation, which is really hard with the age of the internet. Like either people are going to make false information, or AIs, being something, coming in more these days. AIs don't always spit out the correct information, which is a bit strange given there's kind of been AIs for a while, just they were usually in the past called algorithms. So it's, bit not that good that AIs can spit out poor information when it was perfectly fine beforehand. If you search the thing, you get the info for the thing. It wasn't rocket science. It very, very, very rarely would you find nothing. But that's usually only because you're potentially looking up something very oddly specific. It'd be harder for general things, for nothing to pop up. But yeah. But in summary of this point, internet, I guess, is adding to potential ignorance. And there's definitely been other things I've, been ignorant or didn't know about. So, yeah. Ignorance is a plague, and we only can hope, our education systems come back. Things become better. I know, all that can be hoped is for the best, and that, people will hopefully stop being, ignorant, and maybe try to choose understanding over ignorance. One of the two key things I always say: kindness and understanding. And understanding is more key than ever, so yeah. Like, when we don't understand something, we have to step back and try and wonder things. I'm even wondering about something myself at the moment. Because, you want to trust people, but you can never really know what's going on in someone's mind. And I'm me, and I sometimes don't even know what's going on in my own mind. The world is absolutely broken. That's why, I choose to try and make joy over pain, because whenever everything is, goddamn broken, it's better be kind and hopefully try and pass on some knowledge, some understanding. Yes, I really do try and fit to both the things that I say, kindness or just good stuff through, funny character stuff, or whatever I'm doing, highlights and whatnot. As for, understanding, this talk topic is for that, so yeah. Anyway, all I can say is try not be ignorant, try and understand, try and be wiser. You don't have to be smart, just be wise. There is a difference. You don't need to, know everything. It's kind of hard to know everything. Just try and be wiser and more informed. And if there's some sort of barrier that makes it, harder, get a friend to help or family or whoever, you can find, find some help, You never have to do things alone. But yeah, I think I'll wrap up this talk topic episode. So yeah, hope you'll, have a good day, wherever, while the time is. Hopefully things will go good. Anyway, thank you all for watching and peace until the next one.